All right, welcome back, Worthington Games, Civil War Brigade Series, the 7 days, and we're playing the Beaver Dam Creek scenario. The first engagement with Lee has taken over now. He's actually on the board down here, and basically we've done turn 1, done the turn 2 of the Confederates. Didn't turn out too well here. They did kind of push back. McCall's division units who had come across here to try and disrupt their right flank, and then they did try a preemptive attack here, trying to get across the swamp, which failed miserably. But luckily for AP Hill, here comes DH Hill and Longstreet and even General Lee. But it's the Union turn now, and this should be a straightforward turn. They're obviously not going to be on the attack, especially with these new forces coming up here through the swamps here. And 2 of McCall's units are routed, so another big thing we want to do is get them unrouted. So we'll go ahead and start out here. Second player command phase. I believe everybody is in command. We can check that. It's range of 4. 2, 3. Yeah, everybody's in command here. Everybody's in command here. We're good for that. And we've got the org phase, which really isn't anything. And then we've got the offensive artillery phase. Well, this guy can't hit anything. Max range of 5, so really don't have to worry about him. So we're going to let this guy can hit something. And to be honest, I think he's going to go for this guy here. That's going to be 9. Oh, where'd he go? Okay, this is weird. I'm going to pause for a second. Well, luckily there's an undo button when I went to turn off this guy's range. Instead, I clicked on something I shouldn't have. We'll leave it at that. So he's going to fire at this guy. It's just a 9. Pretty straightforward here. No modifiers, no terrain modifiers, just a flat 9. So we're going to roll a d10 on that, and ooh, nice roll. Gets a casualty and a morale check. So we'll take that. Decrease, another Confederate casualty. They are racking them up here. And then the morale check, he's a black, so it's got to be a 7 or below. Yeah, they're pretty solid past the morale check. And this guy is fired. So he can't limber. This guy could limber, but he's not going to move. He's got the range he needs for the coming assault. So I think he'll stay here. I wonder what these two combined look like. This is the only place they have double coverage. And he's covering way too much down here. There may be some advantage in centralizing him maybe to here. So we'll see. Turn that off. Move him up a little probably. All right, that's the offensive phase, and it's the movement phase. And I'm going to quickly check for routing, what routing units can do. Okay, just as a review, routed units. Well, we'll just pull this on. Oh, come on. You know, I hate it when I put things over and it creates a whole new menu. Gets another result, rotates an additional 3 hexes. 1/2 of their movement down, rounded down. That's 3. Can't go into column. Immediately changing a line. Routed artillery may not unlimber. Routed cab must stay in the formation they were. May not move into enemy Zoc. Have no Zoc. Ooh, that's a problem. No Zoc other than the hex they occupy. Routed units. Okay, this is kind of bad news. We need to get these guys rallied to bottom line. But I got to position them too so that they're. Okay, let me think about this here. Okay, I'm gonna have to extend. Who is this? Morel? I got to extend his division to kind of take up the slack for these guys. So I think this guy's going to come down here. This guy's going to stay here. This guy's going to stay here. And that guy can't move. And then the question is, where do I put this guy? I think we'll just leave them there. No, or I could put them with the artillery so we don't lose them. Okay, so those guys are set. This guy's the only one with a zone of control. He's going to go right here, which then gives us ZOC coverage all the way through here except down here. So that's good news. So what we really want to do is get these guys rallied. So this guy has a 3, so I could probably put him right here. Yeah. This guy I want right here. And that's 4, 5, so he's got enough. He's not routed. And potentially there's a hole down here, so this guy needs to come down here. So they're at least covering things. Now, I can limber, but then I can't unlimber. I'm going to leave him there. So basically this turn I could limber, that's 2, and then he can move 1, 2. But then he can't unlimber before the next Confederate attack, so just going to let these guys stay there. I don't know what 1 strength point is going to do for us. Just leave him back there. So Sykes can't go until somebody crosses Beaver Creek Dam. So we'll just leave that there too. So I think that's their movement phase, somewhat limited by the route. We're hoping for the rally phase. Well, no, wait. I did mess up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I want to make sure what guy rallies. This guy, but the problem 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, let's check his command range. Yep, he's covering this guy, so that's a good place. So he's going to try and make sure this guy rallies because the 2 guys pretty much have this covered. Yep, so that's that. Combat phase. There is none. Nobody is adjacent to anything. So now we've got the rally phase. And yeah, let's look at our black is 7. So got to roll a 7 or lower, but we get a -1 because we have a leader for at least one of them. Make sure about that. Move this out of the way. Flip all build markers or breastwork sides. Remove all fired markers from artillery. Okay, remove all panic markers. All of the current player units without may attempt to rally. Make a morale check. If they pass, it's not routed. So, let's see. That guy, we don't need a fired marker on him. Let's follow the rules here. Reset fired. And these guys don't have fired markers, but they didn't have anything to fire at. We'll remove the move. And let's go for the rally. This is it. 7 or less. We'll go for this guy first. Oof. Okay, now we got a strong line here. Is this how you get rid of routed? Yeah, there we go. This guy's got to get an 8 or less, I think. Leaders doesn't say. Let's see what we get. We have to check the rule. 9! This guy is still routed. Okay, well, they're coming back. No Confederates have routed yet. So here we go. That'll do it. The Union is back on the defensive here on Beaver Dam Creek. Confederates are getting a lot of good reinforcements, but they are still stuck with having to go through the swamp. And half firepower plus 1 combat really messes things up. And I don't know, could they somehow force it low down here? Something to look at. Oh, this guy doesn't have a ZOC. 1, 2. Well, we'll see. I don't know if he has enough because that's 1, 2, 3. Well, that's 6. So let's see. Forest, I think, is 2. Woods is 2. Swamp is 4. So it'd be 1, 2, 3, 7. He can't even get into the here yet. So that's okay. Okay. So that's a wrap for turn 2. That's 16. So we're going to move next into 1700. These guys are all in column, so they may have to shift. So it may take another hour to get them set up to attack. These guys ought to move up and see if they can hurry up and take advantage here, but not going to hold my breath about being able to blow through this swamp. I guess we can try again, but all we're going to get is more casualties here. So, all right, anyway, that's a wrap. We'll call it here, trying to get my recordings not so long. So I'll stop pontificating and end the recording here. Thanks for listening, and we will see you in the third hour of the battle, and the Confederates next.